Syria is really in trouble. Okay, the economy is getting hit extremely hard, and the price of food has doubled. The inflation is unbelievable, and the United States has come up with new sanctions to really bring Syria to her knees, really screw her. So there's several things going on, right? So let me walk you through this, okay? Take a look over here. So you can see here the Syrian pound plummets as new U.S. sanctions loom, okay? So look at this, man. This is absolutely insane. 2,300 Syrian pounds for $1. Okay? In 2011, so before the war started, $1 would get you 47 Syrian pounds. 47. Now, it's 2,300. I mean, this is insane. Insane inflation. So after 9 years of war, Syria is in the thick of an economic crisis compounded by a coronavirus lockdown and a dollar liquidity crunch in neighboring Lebanon. So what they're doing in Lebanon as well, to also screw Syria, is you can't withdraw more than like $200 from the bank, okay? And a lot of business goes through Lebanon because Syria is under sanctions, right? So people exporting things, people importing things, they all do it through Beirut, they all do it through Lebanon. Okay? So on June 17th, the sanctions will kick in. These are the new sanctions, okay? And it's called the U.S. Caesar Act. Okay? The U.S. Caesar Act, which aims to sanction foreign persons who assist the Syrian government or help in post-war reconstruction. Pay attention. Help in post-war reconstruction. So the point of these sanctions is to make sure that Syria can't be rebuilt. They're like, oh, okay, well, we can't topple Assad. Okay, so now we're going to screw you. We're going to make sure you can't rebuild. We're going to keep you in misery. We're going to keep you living with hunger, with starvation, with disease, with all of it. We're going to keep you like that, and we're going to make it worse. That's the plan. All right? So here they explain this even better. So, as I said, major U.S. sanctions will be imposed on the Syrian regime. Also, I love how they say the Syrian regime. Like, just why can't you say Syria? Just say Syria. When you talk about the U.S., do you say the American regime? Do you say the Trump regime? No, this is conditioning to use this language. So, as I said, it's a Caesar's Law or Caesar's Act. And Donald Trump signed the law in December 2019. So just 6 months ago, right? It was included in the U.S. Department of Defense's 2020 budget. So Caesar's Law became part of the applicable law of 2020. In the middle of this month, Caesar's Law will be officially enforced. All right. Now, what these sanctions do, let me zoom in more. Okay. Caesar's Law imposes sanctions on Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, as well as on individuals and companies that trade with the Syrian government. Caesar's Law also targets military factories, infrastructure, and the Syrian Central Bank. So it's not like, these are not regular sanctions like, oh, we're going to target the president and, his family and this person and that person. No. This is, if you try to help Syria rebuild, we're going to cut our ties with you. We're not going to let you do business. We're not going to give you any dollars. We're going to cut off the liquidity. Okay? It's like anyone dealing with Syria, we're going to fuck you up. That's what the U.S. is saying. So, as you see, Caesar's Law has new dimensions that were not so prominent in the previous sanctions, and that is the sanctions on the economic trade of other countries with Syria. So they want Syria to basically be cut off from trading with their neighbors or with anyone else. Okay? And the form of this law is very similar to the U.S. sanctions against the Iranian regime. So it means that even European and Arab countries who want to deal with this country may be subject to U.S. sanctions and punishments. Okay? You got that? So these sanctions say that any European companies and any Arab companies that deal with Syria are going to be punished. Who the fuck are you? So under this law, no foreign person or company has the right to invest in Syria's energy or aviation sectors. No one has the right to give spare parts to Syrian planes. Anyone who lends to the Syrian government will be sanctioned. Wow. So there's 4 main parts, right? First, targeting all financial resources supporting the ruling Syrian regime. And that means freezing assets, etc. And second, the speedy punishment and sanctioning of those who disobey the law. In the second paragraph of this law refers to the punishment of those responsible for human rights violations against Syrian civilians or their family members. I mean, this is absolutely insane. They're basically saying like, yeah, we're going to punish anyone who commits war crimes by committing war crimes and oppressing the Syrian people. What? Remember, the United States is the one who funded these jihadists in Syria. The United States is the one burning the wheat fields, the crops, so people starve. The United States is the one cutting off Syria from the rest of the world so they can't rebuild after they bombed the shit out of it and destroyed it for 9 years. The United States, they are the ones committing war crimes. They are the ones committing economic terrorism against Syria. They are the ones making sure that the Syrian population starves and that they suffer. They're literally burning their fucking food. They're literally burning their food. They're putting sanctions on them so they can't trade with anyone. What is that? What does that accomplish except punishing the civilian population? What does that accomplish except oppressing, right? What does that accomplish except maintaining this imperialism? Just leave Syria the fuck alone. Leave Syria the hell alone. What is so hard? No, they can't do it. No. Look at this. You see what they want also? This is going to last for 4 years, essentially. 5 years, rather. And what they want also is to end Syrian and Russian aircraft bombing civilians. What? Dude, they've been pushing this fucking narrative. They've been pushing this nonsense for almost a decade now. Oh, you're bombing civilians, right? Motherfucker, what are you doing? What are you doing? Drone striking people in Afghanistan, drone striking people in Iraq, a 90% death rate. Civilians, all of them civilians. That's not a war crime? Where's the sanctions against your country? What are you doing in Syria? What are you doing in Iraq? What are you doing in Yemen? What are you doing in Libya? What are you doing in Afghanistan? Those are not war crimes? What are you doing tear gassing your own people? What are you doing murdering blacks in broad daylight? That's not whataboutism. That's mind your fucking business and stop pretending like you're better than everyone else and then shitting on them and trying to starve their civilian population and murder them and enact this siege warfare to choke out their entire imports and exports and crush the entire economy. They come and put all these jihadists inside Syria and then say, oh, you can't bomb the jihadists. They're civilians. No one was bombing civilians before this war started, okay? Look at this one. I don't think you can read it. Look at this one. This one is insane. All political prisoners are released. Do you know what that means? When they say that, they mean the jihadists too. Oh yes, I told you, I showed you. They sent a fucking jihadist from Jaish al-Islam to the United Nations for peace talks. A fucking jihadist. You can't make this up. These are the people they want running Syria. Fucking nut jobs. Look again, this bombing of medical facilities, schools, residential. Dude, no one wakes up in the morning saying, oh yeah, let's go bomb a school. If terrorists are using a hospital or using a school or using a certain building and they're launching mortars from it, what are you just going to give them fucking chocolate and champagne and tell them to have a good day? No, this is a nonsense narrative. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, man. They commit all of the war crimes. They commit genocide. They commit unspeakable acts. They fund all these jihadist nut jobs inside Syria and then say, oh, you're committing war crimes. You're the ones that are doing this. What the fuck? All right, let me bring on my cousin, yo.
So, how are you, man? How are you?
I'm okay, man. I did like 15 segments now. Did you hear me talking just now?
Yeah, about like 5 minutes. I don't know. You started to cover things about Syria and whatnot. So I think I'm on time to discuss this.
Good. Alhamdulillah.
So, I don't know. What did you cover?
Well,
What
listen,
were you
man.
talking about?
First of all, I talked about like the lira, the Syrian pound falling, and and the sanctions, and the bullshit inside the sanctions, the Caesar's law.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you've covered it. I don't know if you got the daily updates. Right now, well, it was just like 10 years ago. It was one USD was equal to 50 Syrian pounds, and now we're talking 3,400. This is the last that I've heard today.
What?
$1 was equal. Yes, $1 was equal to 3,400, it's
I just told them
increasing by the minute.
2,300.
It's increasing by the minute.
Oh
So
my
tomorrow
God.
there are rumors that it's going to be 4,000 and 5,000 next week. It's jumping.
Dude, next week
like
it's
never
gonna be
before.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah. It's worse than ever. That's why I wanted to come here, man.
Fuck these assholes, man. عن جد يعني الله لا يوفقون.
I know. This is. I told you. I texted you this morning. I was like, I need to talk to you. I need to scream at someone. And what's better than screaming to a camera? The situation is unbearable. People there are not living. That's it. That's the sentence. People there are not living. They don't have any money. They don't have any. The situation is so bad, and I'm getting like these daily updates from my fiance and like my father there. Not just gasoline, not just fuel, not just the electricity. We don't have that in general. Like we've gone to the next level. We went to the next level now, and there's no medications. It's really hard to find anything that you need in a pharmacy. There's no food, essential food. There's no bread. There's no sugar. It's basically really. Tell me.
You're saying if I go like to Nidal, I can't find bread or sugar?
Here's the thing. You still can find, but it's super fucking expensive that nobody can afford it. And I'm talking like nobody, like the 85% of the Syrian people that are living under poverty line.
It's like Germany, in the Great Depression.
It's not just that. Okay, another really shocking news that I heard yesterday. Apparently, people outside there are seven cases outside of Damascus of people who sold their kidney.
Yeah.
In order to survive. We're talking about people selling parts of their body in order to survive the financial crisis that is going on right now in Syria. They're selling it for $15,000, and people from outside the country are buying it. And this is a very similar story. I don't know if you know that, but 10 years ago, it's the same record, man, playing all over again. 10 years ago, the same thing happened in Iraq, and people were going from Syria to Iraq in order to buy kidneys, to get kidneys out of people, because people in Iraq had the same exact problem, and they were selling their kidneys to Syrians. And here you go, forward 10 years, and we're at the same spot.
Yeah, look, I just want to show people really quickly. This is just the first, just right off of Google, the first thing I found. Look, desperate Syrian refugees are resorting to selling their organs on the black market just to pay rent. It's everywhere, you see? Refugees selling kidneys, livers.
That's perfect. So they just talk about that, but they don't talk about the reasons, don't they?
Exactly.
They just, it's, well, you can see like poor Syrians, they can never afford to eat food and to buy the essential food that they need, but they never talk about the reason behind it.
Exactly.
Well, you think, yeah. Why do you think that's going on? Is it because like Bashar decided not to feed his people, or is it because like the U.S. sanctions, or because like the U.S. decided to burn all the fields, the wheat fields, or is it because they took the oil, or is it because we don't have any tourism? I don't know. Geez, like I don't know. Let me think here. Like for fuck's sake, anything that the U.S. government has been doing for the last 10 years is something, and for the last couple of months is just something on a whole new level. This is not acceptable. This is not. It's fuckery at its best, man.
It is, man. This is, this is essentially, it's economic terrorism. They thought that, okay, they're going to get rid of Assad, and they tried with all these jihadist groups. They tried with Jabhat al-Nusra, with ISIS, that was Jaish al-Islam, and it failed. They couldn't do it. So now they're thinking, okay, we're going to turn up the heat even more, not on Assad, but on the civilians, right? I mean, they already they put them through a fucking war, but now it's like, okay, let's try and starve the civilians. Let's screw them over. Maybe they'll do something and get angry at Assad. Maybe they'll have an uprising because they can't take the sanctions anymore. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think, even when I was talking with Ben Norton the other day, like even people in Venezuela, in Latin America who are being subjected to these same kind of sanctions by the United States, they know what's going on. It's not easy, but they still endure it because they know that it's not the country's fault. Like it's war. They're being fucking attacked. It's siege warfare.
I honestly, I do agree with you, but to some extent, people really gonna blame the government as well, because you're bound, like as a government, it's one of your jobs in order to get. You have two stands, whether it's economically or politically, but you have to do something about it. Like if you're not capable of feeding your own people, people are gonna blame you after a while. Yes, we all know that it's America. Yes, we all know that it's sanctions. But where the fuck is Russia when you need it? Like, why have you allied with Russia for all this time and there's nothing? Russia is not even considered in these sanctions. Like they're the one funding and helping Bashar, but you see what I'm talking about? So even Russia in these games, they're not playing their cards. They're not saying anything about it. They're letting this happen. So basically you can say that the Syrian people have been fucked both sides, Nobody's going to care for you. Nobody's going to help you when you need them.
Well, and yeah, I mean, I did see Syria buying a bunch of wheat from Russia because, well, the United States burned all of their wheat. I don't know, man. I mean, do you really think Russia and Iran are just going to leave Syria now? I don't know, man. I don't think so. Like,
no, absolutely not. But can you really believe that Iran can help Syria? But Iran is worse than Syria in these situations, especially financially and economically.
I remember that
they have the same kind of sanctions for the last 2 years, 3 years. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I just read to them that the sanctions are very similar to the ones they've been imposing on Iran.
Yeah, it's not. It's on Iran. Basically it's on Iraq as well, and Lebanon. Lebanon is also like worse than Syria right now. So you can only imagine the whole fucking region is screwed. It's demolished. Like there's nothing to stand on. There's no pillars. There's no economy. There's nothing to stand on, man. It's really sad. They took this country that was going through this developing, booming economy from 2000 to 2010, then 9 years of war, and then they turned it into the slums of Mumbai. I don't know what to tell you. It's nothing. It was barely a third world country trying to be a developed country, and now it's nothing. It's a sixth world country. There's no way you can consider that a fucking country anymore. I'm sad, man.
Me too,
I'm literally sad. And I always try to stay calm. I always try, but this is unacceptable. This is like every single day I wake up, I hear some other people selling their kidneys, for God's sake. Like,
look what they did to us, man. Look what they fucking reduced us to. These fucking cunts. Look what they did to us. And then you have these fucking pieces of shit calling themselves lefties in America, saying that, oh yeah, maybe Biden isn't so bad after all. Do you even know what Biden did in Syria? Do you even know what's going on? You stupid motherfucking cunt. You ignorant ass motherfucker. You're a fucking right-winger. You support Biden? You're a fucking right-winger. You're a fucking imperialist. Don't give me this lefty progressive bullshit. Go and fuck yourself. People are selling their fucking kidneys and starving in Syria because of Joe fucking Biden. And you're going to sit there in your fucking nice little studio and tell them, oh, Joe Biden. Shut fuck up, asshole. Go and stuff Joe Biden and your fucking constitution. Roll it up and stick it up your fucking ass, you piece of shit. Motherfuckers are dying. Anyone you vote for is a fucking war criminal. Why don't you grow a fucking spine and tell people to get out in the fucking street and go and protest in front of the Israeli embassy, in front of the Saudi fucking embassy, protest in front of the fucking White House until they quit the shit. Instead of your fucking electoral politics, oh yeah, we got to vote for Biden, in November. Shut the fuck up. Go and fuck yourself, man. I'm sick of these fucking lefties in the US. They don't know their fucking ass from their elbow. They don't know shit. They are so fucking privileged and ignorant. They don't have a fucking clue what's going on in Yemen. They don't have a fucking clue what's going on in Syria. They'll bring up Syria or Israel like once a fucking year and then think that they're leftist. No, you're fucking not. You're a fucking coward. If you had any fucking spine, you would talk about Syria every fucking week. You would talk about Israel oppressing the Palestinians every fucking week, not once a fucking year, you piece of shit. You motherfucker, you sellout motherfucking crypto fucking neoliberal. Fuck these people, man. Seriously.
No, man,
I haven't seen your fucking ass for 10 years. 10 fucking years. 10 fucking years, man. Why? For what? So they can make some fucking money? Fuck you. Fuck you. If you ever say that someone should vote for Joe Biden, you are a fucking war criminal supporting cunt. Fuck you. Lefty my fucking ass. I will shit on your fucking face, man.
You know, but they have the best argument, you know? He's better than Donald Trump. Well, at least I would prefer someone who said it like, do you see the entire situation that is going on in the United States right now is because you have a president like Donald Trump, and that's a good thing because there's no fucking filter. Now the people are seeing the true colors of the government. So you need someone like Trump, even though he's a stupid motherfucker, but at least he's doing us good instead of bad.
He woke people the fuck up.
Yeah. So you're getting something.
This is the thing. This is the thing with the neoliberals. They want Biden so they can go back to sleep, so they don't have to look at the reality of the ugly face of the United States. That's what they want. They want to go back to fucking sleep.
Yep. Absolutely. They need that dose, man. They need to go back to sleep because it's not real enough. As soon as you saw it for the last 2 weeks, man. As soon as shit got real, the entirety of the U.S. just went batshit crazy, you know? They cannot handle these situations. They cannot handle that this is happening to them right now, whether you're a U.S. citizen or you are the government.
Exactly.
You can see how crazy it is right now in the U.S. And it's because they've never dealt with this shit. And they're never going to deal with it again because guess what? In a couple of weeks, it's all going to go through. People are going to forget about it. And they're never going to talk about it again. And they're never going to talk about Syria, nor Palestine or Israel, not even Iraq or Yemen. They need to stay ignorant as fuck.
Exactly.
Because if anybody talks about it, he's either anti-Semitic or pro-Bashar or I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's the stupid fucking record playing all over again. This situation has to end. It's disgusting. It's filthy.
That's exactly it, man. They're fucking pussies. You know, look, everyone should be supporting Black Lives Matter. Not just now because it's popular. Always.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yep.
Dude, you will never see them support Palestinians because they're fucking pussies. They will never show the same kind of energy. They'll never show the same kind of solidarity for Palestinians. Never. Those fucking cowards. And then they call themselves lefties. Go and fuck yourselves, you neoliberal pieces of shit. You fucking crypto neolibs. Go and eat Dick Cheney's fucking ass. Fucking pussies. You fucking coward motherfuckers. You got no fucking spine and you know it. You goddamn know it. It's easy to talk about Black Lives Matter when it's popular. Are you going to talk about Palestine and Israel? No, you fucking ain't. No, you fucking ain't, you pussy. Are you going to talk about Syria, about the war crimes that are happening there? No, you fucking ain't. There's only like a handful of people. Grayzone, Jimmy Dore. You can count them on one fucking hand. And the rest of them are pussies. Bootlicking cucks. Call themselves fucking lefties. Motherfuckers, man. People selling their kidneys to eat in Syria. Yeah, I mean, you know, can you imagine that in the U.S.? Do you think people in the United States would accept that? Can you imagine people in the United States selling their fucking kidneys just to eat? Do you think they would accept that for 1 second?
You know, I was discussing,
but it's okay in Syria because, you know, we're just Arabs. So, you know, fuck the Arabs. It's over there.
I know. Yeah, that's the point. But I was discussing this with a U.S. citizen the other day, and she was telling me, like, you know, I was thinking about you for the last couple of weeks because of the situation in the U.S. And now I understand. I kind of understand like what you've been through. And I was like, well, yeah, you kind of do. I'm not gonna be mean and tell her no, but you kind of do. But let me tell you something. The worst part of what I have, and the worst part about my experience, that the cause was an external cause, and everything that happened in Syria was not because of the Syrians, was because some fucker outside decided to take advantage of the situation, or because they planned it all along, or because they had certain interest and they had their agenda. While what you're having in the US is your own fucking problem, and it's about time that you burst out of this bubble and you realize how the government has been screwing you over. And not just the government, like you're playing this game, the people as well. Like whether you're a leftist or a conservative, you're playing this game of freedom all the time, but you don't actually, the government, it's like brainwashing you, man. It's brainwashing you into thinking that life is perfect, and into protecting you of the outside world where nobody exists except for America. And that shit is wrong.
Because
that's delusional. That's wrong. That's ignorant.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's their indoctrination, man. It's what I was talking about before. You know, they're like, since they're born, since birth, they're indoctrinated to believe that, oh, we are superior, like we are exceptional. You know, like, yeah, other people are nice, but we're better. You know, our opinion is better. Our way of life is better. And even if we do something bad, it's okay because we're better. Always. Did you see that shit with Kyle Kalinske and Crystal? Did you see that?
No. What was it?
They're saying now that, you know, they might vote for Biden. They might vote for Biden because, you know, Trump crossed the line when he said he's going to bring the military into the United States, right? And I was like, hold on a second, like that's the tipping point for you guys. Like,
yeah, I don't know. That's what.
Yeah, like they're okay with the U.S. military being in other people's countries, but if you put it in our streets, now we're mad. Now we're mad.
Yeah,
the fuck? Do you know how many wars Joe Biden started? Are you fucking delusional?
I don't know. I'm telling you, man. People are using Trump just like as a. I don't know. He's just a facade, and I hate it when people are blaming him. Like, I hated when people, oh, fuck Trump all the way, fuck Trump. I'm not by any chance defending the motherfucker. I hate the guy. He's a moron. He doesn't know what he's doing. But at least there's no one who's better than him. Like, seriously, because they're all bad.
Exactly.
Not because he's better than them. It's because they're all bad.
Dude.
They're all full of shit.
Dude.
They're all politicians, for God's sake. What do you expect?
Exactly. And actually, you know what's funny? Trump hasn't started a war.
Well, yes.
Trump hasn't started a war.
Absolutely.
Obama started 5 more wars. Bush started 2 wars. Trump hasn't started a single fucking war in his first term. That's impressive. That's an achievement. Wow.
It was one of his strategies. Like, he wanted to pull out. He wanted to pull out. He was like, okay, we'll pull the soldiers. We take him out of Syria and Iraq. Of course, he didn't do it because it's not up to him. It was just fucking slogans for his campaign. But it's not up to him.
No.
It's the fucking Senate and the whole fucking government and the lobbies. The whole fucking establishment is rigged, man.
Yeah.
There's no way to pull the plug. There's no way to end it. This is how America was built. So in a way, I don't know.
Man, but
it's just sad. It's just sad to see, like, the big bully, instead of doing good in this world, they're just doing bad shit.
Yeah,
they're
man.
Just
exactly. You know what's fucking insane? Like, they're in the middle of a pandemic. They got 100,000 people died from coronavirus. They got 40 million people unemployed. And what do? They send the fucking Navy to encircle Maduro, and then they start putting sanctions on Syria to starve the people inside Syria. Like, do you not have other shit to do?
That's the fuckery. Like, do you imagine the level of, like, the situation in the U.S. is now so bad? How are you capable of managing two, like, these things at the same time? How are you able to juggle them?
But you know why? I tell you why. Because
on the globe,
Ronnie,
that's their goal, man.
Exactly. Because the empire comes first. Always. The American empire comes first. That's always the fucking priority.
Yep. They don't give a shit about the people. They don't get. I understand that now. And it's so fucking obvious. Like, how are you capable of doing this? You have a pandemic. On top of it, you have this whole situation about Black Lives Matter. And you're still going through with the sanctions on Syria. How the fuck are you doing it? How are you capable of getting and making so many enemies at the same time?
Unfucking believable.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Man, it's really insane. Like, and you're telling me that the lira, the Syrian pound, is gonna go to what, 5,000 next week?
Well, hopefully not. There's rumors about it, but right now it's 3,400. It's jumping 200 Syrian pounds at a minute.
How did it get this high? Because the war was going on for 9 years. It was never this high. Why is it all of a sudden?
Well, let me tell you something. Where there's 2 reasons. There's the political reason. There's the financial one. The political reason is obvious because after 9 years of war, they didn't. Well, what they wanted or what they planned for, it didn't happen. So they went another way and they started with the sanctions. But on top of that, there's the financial reason, where you can only see the actual results of the war, any war to that matter, and you can study that in economics. You can only see the results after the war has ended. So hyperinflation would start regularly in a war, but it would go to the extremes after the war, and that's when you see the results. Because guess what? During the war, the government is trying their best to keep things under control, but after it finished, and on top of that came the pandemic, the government was, fuck, I can't handle this anymore. and there's a couple of more sanctions, and there's, I don't know if you've heard about Rami Makhlouf.
Yes, I was gonna talk about that.
The Syrian businessman. So he pulled his money out of Syria like 2 days ago,
Oh.
and that's one of the reasons, because the government was like, okay, fuck, we have no solutions anymore. We can't do anything. We don't have any money, and the pandemic is screwing us over. So who should we go after? And they decided that Rami Makhlouf is like the number one Syrian businessman there is, and he holds like billions of dollars worth of money. He's worth like a lot of money.
Yeah, he's basically the richest man in Syria. He's the cousin of Bashar al-Assad, and also he owns Syriatel, which is like the biggest, telecoms company.
Absolutely. So the government decided to go after him, and they confiscated like a lot of his properties, and they took a lot. They made him pay like 15% of tax money. It was like, I don't know the actual details about that matter, but we can check it out and we can like talk about it maybe later.
Yeah.
But they basically took a lot of money out of him because they needed the money for them, for people, for other institutions. So he got mad because he didn't want to pay the money, and he pulled all his money out of Syria. So now they're talking about like how all private banks are going to close as well. The government, I'm not going to say they're trying their best. There's no best. It's a third world country after 9 years of war. There's no fucking best. Of course it's going to be bad, but at least they're trying something. And it's not going to work, obviously, for obvious reasons, on top of the U.S. sanctions. So you can only imagine how hard it is for a 60-year-old or a 70-year-old grandpa who's trying to buy. I swear to God, there's a video. I'll send it to you on Facebook. It's trending right now. He's trying to buy like tea and sugar, and he's saying like, this pot cost me. I paid how much? Like 8,000 Syrian pound for it, and it's supposed to be like 100 Syrian pound. He's saying like, I cannot need
these.
It's just.
I really have a rage inside me. Like, this is just. What the fuck did these people do? They didn't do anything.
I know.
By the way,
I don't know what's tough about putting on the sanctions. I don't know what's tough about playing this game when you know that the only people who are going to suffer are the Syrian people. When you know that you're going to get nothing out of this. I don't know what you're doing, but you're just putting people down on their knees, and they're just begging for mercy.
Look, man, I'm going to be very simple about this. Look, every time I went to Syria, there was no bullshit. Now there's bullshit. I don't like it. End of story. Okay? These motherfuckers that are doing this war and killing everybody, and preventing people from just living a normal, peaceful life, they're fucking war criminals. Trump, Obama, Biden, all of them. And for people to come along now and say that, oh, like this one is a bit better than that one. No, you privileged motherfucker. Shut your stupid fucking mouth. You work in politics and you don't know this?
Yeah.
What the fuck? How ignorant are you? What, like, they're so fucking focused on the United States. Like, their brains can't fucking comprehend what happens in other countries because of their military. Like, it's unbelievable. This is inexcusable. And then he goes, man, it's really infuriating. And, once again, I mean, Biden, he got the nomination 2 days ago. He's a Democratic nominee now. Dude, no matter who wins, is going to be the same fucking bullshit, every single thing, all of it. The oppression of blacks, the big pharma, military industrial complex, all of it, Wall Street, it's all going to stay the same. Nothing is going to change. I'm telling you. And man, I don't even know what Syria is going to do. Seriously, like, yeah, you see this, most of Syria's population lives in poverty, according to the UN, and food prices have doubled over the past year. Doubled.
Yeah.
Families may be forced to cut the quality and quantity of food they buy. Like, this is insane, man. They put the whole country through a war.
I love the may. Families may. You see that?
Yeah, may.
I don't know if you've noticed that. May be forced. Like, fuck you guys.
That's one thing, man. That's one thing. And then, they're talking about XYZ, Iran, Syria, whatever country insert here is violating human rights. Shut the fuck up, man. Seriously, this is getting lame as fuck. What do you think they're going to do to fix the lira, the Syrian pound?
Oh, there's nothing to do. Well, there's one solution that they tried it too, but I don't know if they're gonna do it. There's just rumors about it. Man, in these cases, there's nothing much to do. Like, I swear to God, when I was taking a class in economics, and the professor was trying to explain what's hyperinflation
Yeah.
and what happens and how to fix it. He tried not to answer that question like 7 times because there's no fucking answer to it. You cannot stop hyperinflation. Whenever that is going on, it only happens in war situations or like in bad, really, really, really bad economic or financial crisis. But when it happens, there's no actual. You can only pay to get money from the international bank, but that's not gonna happen because there's sanctions on Syria. There's no way that any other country will give loans in
Yeah.
these amounts to Syria without having
Getting punished.
consequences.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I honestly don't know the
Fucking
answer
hell.
to that.
But you know what's
There's-
weird? It's like, I honestly thought that like the war is almost over because they captured everything, and then there's just Idlib left, right? Like where you had ISIS and Hayat Tahrir al-Sham and all these nut jobs.
Yeah, the war is basically over, but now you're gonna see the results, man. Now you're gonna see how they're gonna screw you over. You know, it's the last dagger